Hey athletes, for today's stick mobility workout, we're going to be working some thoracic spine, some shoulders. We're going to also dive into those wrists and hands a little bit today. So it's going to be a little bit more upper body extensive in terms of our routines for today. So it's going to be a nice opportunity to give those legs a little break. We're still going to use them, just going to give them a little break. So we're going to start with just loosening up the shoulders and the back a little bit. Let's basically take the base of the stick right in between your feet within 6 to 12 inches of your body, and then the hands just a little bit more than head height on the stick. And from here, just a light press downward. We're not trying to exceed anything more than 10 to 30% of our ability to create tension in our body with the stick today, especially just at the beginning for this warm up. So press downward until you feel the lats pack down and the core tighten up. A little bend in the knees and the hips. And then from here, just allow your chest to fall in between your arms, finding that stretch from basically that lat that is underneath the armpit, down to the mid back and even into the low back a little bit. And once you get settled into there, just add a couple rotations through your trunk, rotating the rib cage and the sternum as your points of emphasis on this aspect here. As you go left and right, let the knees bend a little bit as you go from side to side, slowly getting them to straighten out as you turn to one side. So if you turn left, let the left leg straighten out. And as you turn right, let the right leg straighten out. And you should start to notice a little bit of that outside hamstring, get a nice stretching sensation. Go one more each way. And then from here, what I want to see you do is use your arms to pull yourself back up. Roll the shoulders around just a little bit here, and we're going to go right back into that same stretch. Now we're just going to move the feet around a little bit. So press downward as you begin, same exact starting position as we did for that last move. And then take your foot and just reach it behind you. Use that foot in the spot it stands on to help you with the balance and stability. Rotate the stick around to that side. You're going to start to notice a big stretch across the rib cage and up underneath that armpit. Rotate the stick back to center and then just switch feet. And as you reach that foot back, it's not the furthest reach that you can go, just a little bit to help create a little bit more length on that same side core. And then come back center. And then on the next couple, what I want you to do is once you find that step and hold, and as you start to rotate that stick, I want you to twist the knuckles at the top. And then you're going to start noticing through the tricep and that upper lat, a slightly deeper stretch. Even through the back of the wrist and the forearm, you might be able to sense some movement and some stretching going on there as well. Come back to center and let's do one more each way. Just taking your time as you step and rotate and reach. And then switch for one more. Nice, there we go. Whew. Once again, just roll those shoulders back a little bit, a little forward. And then taking the mope stick here at your chest. Now if you have your hands right in front of you, take the right hand to the left and the left hand to the right on this one here. So we're basically trying to pull the shoulder blades away from the spine a little bit so we can get some movement through the scapula, upper back area. So from here, what you're gonna do is take the pinky side of your hands and lightly pull the pinky side of the hands together. Just lightly, 10 to 30%. And then from here, just allow a little flexion, a little extension, maintaining that light pull of the hands, letting the spine round, shoulders round as you go down and get tall and roll back as you stand back up. Now we are locking the shoulders in here a little bit, so you will feel the stretch between the shoulder blades, but you're not moving the shoulder blades that much. A lot more of a thoracic spine type of motion here. Let's go one more forward and one more back to the top. And as you get back to the top here, keep the arms in the same position they are. Now just allow your hips to go a little side to side. And when the hips go to one side, let the shoulders rock with it too. So as I push my hips left, drop your shoulders to the right, hips push right, drop your shoulders to the left. Start getting into the rib cage and lateral core a little bit more. Whew. Now take the stick and uncross the hands. Now what we're going to do is a little reach and a little reach. So take your left foot into just a step, and then eyes forward, take the right hand into just a reach across, and then come right back. Now focusing a lot more on the shoulder blades, moving away from the spine and pulling back, or protraction and retraction. So right foot steps, reach that left hand as far across as you can, letting the shoulder come in front of you. Trying to reach the palm and the fist while focusing on this shoulder blade and this part of your trunk rotating as you go back and forth. Nice work. And then just alternating back and forth here, feeding into a little bit more extension with the shoulder blade motion here. There we go. And we'll focus on the more of a down reach. So take that right foot into a step, reach that left hand down, come right on back. Left foot steps, right reaches down. We'll do 2 on each foot here, challenging those eyes to still stay forward facing. Nice work. All right. Now what we're going to do here is lock in the hips a little bit more, lock in the thoracic spine a little bit more. So let's take one foot just slightly in front of the other foot. And that front leg here, just make sure you have most of the weight on there, but in a good balanced position, a little bend here, chest is tall. And we're going to take the hands wide with the palms facing forward. And then the stick itself is actually kind of being pulled lightly by my hands pulling back against my chest. And I'm going to hold that position. And then from here, I'm basically going to draw circles to my left and right side of the body here. And letting those circles translate into the shoulders, into the thoracic spine, and a little bit into the hips. So you get this nice little undulation through the spine as we twist and rotate and lean on this here. And then take these circles and now just reverse directions. Now we're going a little more overhand. You still want to keep the shoulders down, so we don't want to shrug and let those shoulders come up. So keep that in mind as you do this. The shoulder blades and right in between them should feel some tension. Stand back up and just switch legs. The left leg in front, and then from here, just starting with some little circles. Choose which way you want to go. We're going to do both anyway. And gradually just find your fluidity as you go from left and right here, trying to be as smooth as you can. Let's go in reverse directions here now. Here we go. And then just a couple more here. And then we'll bring it right back up. Now we're going to focus a lot more on the thoracic spine. Now we're going to move a little bit into the forearms, wrist, elbow area here. So start with your hand on the very middle of this. And what you want to do is really focus on the wrist motion here. You want to focus on the pinky trying to meet your forearm, and then you want the thumb to try and come and meet your forearm. Now you're most likely not going to touch those 2 points, front or on the back end, which is fine. What you want to do is basically, just like you would fish, cast the end of the stick forward and then pull it back. So start with the shoulder and the hand in contact with each other. Extend through the elbow, finish with the wrist. As you come back, pull with the wrist, and then pull with the elbow. Now with that, take your right foot into a step, let it cast forward, and then come right on back. And what you should notice is, wow, that might be really hard on my forearm. That might be really hard on my shoulder. But pay attention to the wrist and focus on the sequencing from wrist, elbow, to shoulder, because that's going to go right into your thoracic spine on that one there. We'll do one more each leg, and we'll switch sides. Hand starts on the sticker, and you should notice, whoa, I haven't felt my wrist move like that before. Now, left hand starts with the left shoulder, left foot steps, extend out through the elbow, finish with the wrist, pull with the wrist, and then the elbow. And then just reverse it on this one here. We don't usually focus on specific wrist training. Whew. So parts of this workout might end up being pretty tough for you here as we continue to kind of progress through a little bit more of the joints and body parts we usually don't focus as much on. Let's go 1 or 2 more each side here. Whew, there we go. All right. Now getting into the workout here, we're going to start with some positions that want to incorporate the wall. We're going to use a timer for today as well. So we're going to be switching quite a few of these moves at 30 seconds, or actually all of them are. So we're going to start with 2 moves. We're going to go back and forth between these 2 moves. It's going to be a minute on each one with a 30-second break in between there. And then we'll do 3 times on each with this one here. So starting off, we need a wall we want to basically take the stick right into the end of the wall. And for this one, we want our arm to be extended out. And if you want to make it tougher, you take the end of the stick, put it right on the end of the wall. Now as we do this, the hand that's going to push is going to be the hand that is holding the stick. So you're going to push this arm into the wall, feel a lot of shoulders, a lot of tricep. We don't want to shrug. And then from here, we're going to take the same leg and you're going to lunge the same leg forward while that elbow goes straight back behind you on this one here. So what we're going to do, we're going to start the clock. We're going to do 30 seconds on each side. And as we go into that lunge, you're going to take the other hand and reach the other hand across as you go in and out. So we're going to start here in 3, 2, and 1. And take that right foot with the right hand holding the stick, lunge it forward, elbow comes back, reach that hand through, and then as you come out of this, push through the foot, push through the hand. Deep lunge. Let that stick push your elbow back, and then drive it forward. Now if you're using the wall here, which you should be, the stick shouldn't be moving on you much, and you should notice how that stick props you into extension as we go in and out. After this next rep, switch sides. So left hand will hold it here, left foot's gonna lunge, left elbow drives back. And then keep that left elbow behind you as you drive in and out of each lunge here on this one. Great work, and you should notice a lot of motion happening at the shoulder, kind of a quote-unquote stretching sensation or a kind of a working sensation through the same side chest. On this one here. Whew. Now remember, as we do this working part here, I want you to be between 50 and 80% of your max effort. On this next one, take the stick laterally, so put it to the side of the wall now. So if the stick is to your left, the right hand will hold the stick. And the leg to the inside is going to be your lunging leg this time. And then the other hand going to come up and over. So right hand has a stick with the base of it to your left. Left foot lunges, and then reach that left hand high and overhead. And then come right on back. Lunge, reach. For this one, the stick is going to stay a lot more in front of you. So you're not bending too much at the elbow. But as you go into this, you want to press that hand that goes high and overhead on each one of these here. Lunge, press, reach, and then switching sides here. So you got the left hand holding it, right hand lunges, right hand reaches. Some of you may have had to turn around to keep using the spot on the wall, which is totally okay. You want to focus on how much that upper body can lean on this one here. Trying to lunge deep into the hips. You'll notice on this first station, which we're going back to, more rotation. Second station, more lateral flexion. So as we go back here, base of the stick starts at the ground. Arm starts extended out. So that way when you lunge, other one rotates across. All right, trying to go a little deeper, pushing the hand into the wall here. Lunge, elbow drives, and then open palm, spreading those fingers, press that hand across. Push through the lunging foot, push through the hand that's on the end of the mob stick. And then just at your own pace, keep lunging deeper, keep pressing that hand. 10 more seconds here. All right, and switching sides in 2, and switching sides to the left side, left leg lunges. Deep lunge, and as that elbow drives behind you, as you lunge forward, you still want to maintain a push through the hand that's at the end of the stick. So you're always keeping pressure in and out here. Just a couple more. There we go. Great work. Now you'll notice as you do this too, sometimes your body is in a position that's a little awkward. So as you go in and out, feel free to move the stick end further, closer, away from you to where you are lunging in your position here. Make the stick work for you versus you moving around the stick. Okay, sticks in the right hand. Right arm is extended out. This one stays out. Sorry, left hand. Left leg is lunging. Lunge that left side. Oops. And then reach. Right on back. Left leg lunges. Left hand reaches up. There we go. Remember, we're trying to get a lot of lateral flexion out of this move here. So you're really focusing on that spine, getting the tilting, and just a light amount of pressure through the hand on the stick. So you actually might feel a little bit of chest, or you should feel a little bit of chest as you push in and out here. All right, switching sides. Now the right leg's lunging, stick is in the left hand as we go and back here. Light amount of pressure through the hand. Now if you're like me and you don't have the stick anchored down to anything right now, it's a little bit more challenging and you don't get as much pressure or tension that you can create in and out here, which is okay. Nice work, finish that rep. Whew, all right. We're gonna do one more on each side here. We're gonna go to 2 different moves after that. So back to our wall here. Now if you want a little bit more of a challenge here, what you can do is take that right leg into a single leg bounce, or take that right leg up and the right hand has the weight. So you challenge the stability a little bit more. The right leg is lunging with the hand on the right stick. All right, deep lunge, let that elbow drive back, hand presses against. Whew. And you're gonna notice, man, that's pretty challenging once you start to add that balance factor in there. That core is gonna have to work a little harder as you go in and out. Nice job. You got about 1 or 2 more reps on this side. And let's go ahead and switch it. Left leg is up with the stick in the left hand. Big lunge forward. Great job, great job. Hopefully what you start to learn is how to create your own tension levels from 1% to 100% of your ability to create and generate your own tension on this one here. All right, nice job. We're going right back to the lateral move here now. And all the stick position does, wherever you have it, and depending on how you apply pressure, just changes where you feel the tension and the pressure created in the body. So we're lateral here, and the way we're pressing, a lot more through the side, a lot more through the chest than anything else. Right hand has the stick, left leg is lunging, left hand is going up. All right. And then try and keep that right arm as far out in front of you as you can, while you maintain that light pressure through the palm as you do this. So you feel constant chest, shoulder, whew, and then a little bit of lateral core as you go up with that reach. Got a couple more reps on this side. All right, and then switching it here. Left hand has the stick, right foot lunges forward, right hand reaches up. Nice job. Trying to challenge the range of motion in your upper body routine here, but doesn't mean we can't lunge a little deeper into that lower body. Great job. A few more reps here. All right. And right after this, we're gonna do a little active recovery now. So what I wanna do is just open up that lateral core with some rotation. So take the stick to just to the left of you, almost where like 9 o'clock would be if you had a clock dial on the ground. Just to the left, elbow will stay extended into your side. And from here, that same foot that the stick is next to will cross over. The other hand will come up and you'll just hold on to this, slide a little to the side so you feel tension, and then just add a little rotation. Focusing on that hip to the trunk, turning, the eyes looking under the armpit, then as you come back, looking over the shoulder. Armpit, whew, and then shoulder. Armpit, and then shoulder. And bring the hips back underneath you, let the hand come off, and then switch sides. So if we're on 9 o'clock to our left, bring it to the right where 3 o'clock is. That right foot crosses over, and the left hand comes up. Let the body slide to the left a little bit so you feel everything from the hips to the rib cage, and then rotate. Look under the left armpit, look over the right shoulder, and just get this twisting back and forth here. Just go one more each way. And pull the hips back underneath, let the hand come off. So what we're gonna be doing on this one here is tying in inner thighs, adductors to our thoracic spine, to our shoulders, to our extremities in the upper body here. So what I wanna do is if I have this in my right hand, my left leg is gonna do a lunge, and I'm gonna basically let the arm come across my body, cast that end of the stick downward, pull the hand back up to the shoulder, bring the foot back and rotate back and step back to my center. So side lunge, turn, cast, and right back. So we got some rotation and we got some leaning as that hand comes across the body, and that's what we're gonna do on that one there. So let's start with this in our right hand. We'll start with the left leg lunging to the side. In 3, 2, and 1. So start with the weight at the shoulder, lunge left, turn left, reach through the elbow, reach through the wrist, and pull it right on back. That left arm to your side here. You can even put the hand onto the hip if you would like. But you should start to feel that forearm, that wrist, into the shoulder, even a little bit into the trap. Let's go and switch hands now. Lunge left, cast to the left, come right on back. Sorry, lunge right. And then reach the hand to the right. You should start to notice the upper body, especially as the top of the mope stick casts and reach to the ground. You should notice, whoa, my upper body's got to work a little bit harder. My core's got to hold on tighter as I reach that stick far to my side. Nice work. Now number 2 here, we're just gonna literally pretend like we're a helicopter. So you're gonna start with your hands here. Now when we're balancing on our right leg, I want the top of the stick to rotate to the right. So a lot of this one, I wanna focus more on the dexterity of the hands, the ability to rotate from the wrists and grab and turn from wrist, elbow to shoulder. If you need to toe tap your foot, you can always lightly toe tap your other foot here as you stand on that one leg. But stand on that right leg, turn the wrist, grip. Turn the wrist, grip. If you need it to pull it in tighter to the body, because maybe those elbows start to bark at you, you can always pull the elbows a little bit closer into the rib cage as you move in and out. And then start playing with your hand position a little bit more. Start challenging where those hands reach on the stick. Go further out, stay closer in. Now switch to that left leg. Now start turning the stick to your left. You start to make it harder hand-eye coordination-wise by speeding up the rotation of the stick. You want to make sure that your upper body is starting to lean a little bit with it too, and it's not just a wrist dominant exercise like this. But you get a little flow with the upper body, leaning a little to the left and a little to the right. All right. Nice work. Now on this one here, we're gonna start in a single leg balance again, just like we did in the last round, or sorry, in that last station. So start with that left leg up, stick is to the right side. Now when you cast that thing, focus on the top of that end, reaching as far away as you can and drawing as big of a circle as you can on this one too. So left leg is up, sticks in the right hand. And then lunge, big circular kind of rotation you're trying to make with that mope stick. And if you played sports, softball, maybe not so much softball, baseball, this might start feeling like a starting position for a pitcher. The leg comes up, that back arm comes through. Now you still want to focus on that elbow extending out, moving, switch sides, sticks in the left hand, right foot is up, lunge to the right, wrist. focusing on the end of the wrist or end of the mob stick, trying to draw as big of a circle as you can as that arm comes across your body and as you rotate. There you go, great job. Now remember, if you need to make it a little harder, you just take the hand a little further down the stick. And it's a lot more stick for that wrist to hold on that. All right, back to our single leg balance. Now if you need more of a challenge, we're gonna stay on the right leg. You can start moving the stick a little higher and then a little lower. Move it to the left, move it to the right, or you can just keep it forward facing on this one here. But right leg you're balancing on, left leg is up. Whew. Start turning it to the right, and then you can start moving the stick a little higher. If you need to lightly toe tap that foot, you can. You can move it to the little left, a little right. And if you think about balance, balance isn't just standing in one place trying to stay as still as possible. Balance is really about controlling your body in motion. So if you can create even just micro movements that challenge that, switch sides, left leg now, then you can start to really increase your own capacity for mobility or for stabilization as you go in and out. Speeding the stick up, going a little right, going a little left, but really focus on those wrists. If you see them turning, or do you just see the turning come from the elbows or the shoulders? Should start to notice that calf and that glute, maybe even a little inner thigh starting to work for you too as you balance there. Alrighty. Back to the last one here. Last one on each. Hopefully you feel your forearms a little sore tomorrow, even a little biceps and triceps with this too. On a control through the hand, wrist, forearm. So remember, if you want to make it a little harder, take the hand a little lower on this one here. Left leg is up, sticks in the right hand. Lunge left, boom, reach it across. Now if this brings you back to your baseball days, just get on after it. But cast that forward and then start paying attention to the leg that you're standing on. When you lunge to the side and you reach it, don't let that back heel lift up. Challenge your mobility by keeping it down and focus on the wrist, elbow to shoulder. One more and then switch sides. Sticks in the left hand, right leg is up, lunge to the right, cast it to the right. A lot of times too, wrist, shoulders, elbows will have grabs, aches or pains, discomfort. There's a litany of sensations you can feel or sense through there. And a lot of times it's because we haven't taught ourselves how to generate power or force from our middle of the body. And the limbs, the extremities take the forces. So if we can generate from here and then allow it to disperse out from there, we can be in a much better place. Control-wise, sequencing-wise in movements. Back to our single leg balance drill here. Got our propeller. Increasing our speed, increasing the grab of our hands, so you can start walking to one end of the stick. Whew. You can start walking to the other end of the stick. Start going a little higher. Add a little left and right rotations. Now I'm just throwing out this there if you want that little extra challenge. If you're content with holding it in front, great. That's challenging there. All right, let's start switching it here to that left foot. Left foot's down on the ground and a little turn to the left with the stick now. This is a very freeing move here in a sense of you could really do whatever you would like. Go in any pattern, any motion that you like. All I'm trying to do is provide a framework for you to explore all the options. 3, 2, great work. Great job there, athletes. Got 2 rounds down there. Now, if you were looking for a little extra, can always add another round onto that. But let's get the cool down here to begin. Let's start with this stick to our right with a wide foot position. And the stick is going to be just on the outside of our right toe. Left hand comes across, right hand comes on the bottom. Now with this left arm, elbow stays straight. You're going to weight shift to your right hip, and you're going to think about the shoulder just keeping a nice arcing shape as you drop it down. And the right hand will just sit on top. So weight shift to your right. Let that left shoulder just create a nice long swooping arc. So you feel a lot of the back posterior of the shoulder, a little mid back as well. And you basically want to keep that left hand just kind of lightly anchoring through the pinky side on the stick. Go one more. And we'll take the stick to the left. Now the right hand is the one I want you to focus on and have on the bottom. Left hand sits on top. Weight shift to your left. Right side comes down. Right shoulder comes down. Try and keep that elbow long and just like let a nice long arcing shape of that shoulder come down. Great. Keep the stick on your left. Hand is going to go about, I would say, right on top of the rubber, and then thumb up, and then reach the stick just behind you, just behind the left heel now. So instead of being in front of the pinky toe, we're going to be behind the heel. And then the other hand can go on the hip, and just focus on a little left and right weight shift. Now this shoulder here, kind of want to open it up a little bit versus rolling over, and then just a light amount of downward force with the hand on the stick. And just a light little weight shift, pressing the pinky side of your hand that's holding the stick lightly downward. There you go. And then just taking the hand and just a little left and right rotation as it's behind you. As we hold that side into a chest stretch, and if you don't feel the chest stretch, reach a little bit more behind you. Pull the knuckles in, pull the knuckles back. Elbow stays relatively straight. There you go. Now hold the hand in a position that's comfortable for you, and then focus on the shoulder, getting a little roll in and a little roll out. Now as you do that, let that translate into your spine. Let the spine get a little rolling in and forward, so a little flexion and extension. Do one more. And we'll switch the hand to our right. Sticks to the right side. Hand in the same position as it was before with the thumb up. A light pressure through the pinky side of the hand. Other hand on the hip. And just a little left and right rotation here. Sorry, lateral shifting through our hips. Go one more each way. Whew. And then make sure you have the stick in a position where you have that chest stretch in there. Keep that chest stretch and just rotate the hands. Just a little roll of the knuckles in, a little roll of the knuckles out. Let that start feeding into the thoracic spine. Come to more extension, shoulder rolls down, a little more flexion. All right, great work. Now take that right hand across your body. Bring the hand down a little bit, more chest height. Now I just want this hand to come across to just to slightly rotate your body. You might feel a little stretch through here as well in the back of the shoulder. And then take the other hand and do a reach overhead. So now we're gonna go into a little bit more of a type 1 reach where we're rotated one way, laterally flexing the other way. Go one way, or one more, sorry. And then take the stick with the same grip that your right hand has and just grip it with the left hand, and then bring it across the other way. So you're now rotated more to the right. And then take the right hand up and overhead here. Pressing through the open palm. You should find a big lateral core stretch here through the right side. Go one more. All right, and athletes, that is your workout for today.